Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. Bitcoin sitting at $67,000. Ethereum sitting just over 33, trying to fight its way up to 3,400. And Coinbase analysts say the halving pump is already priced in. We're going to be taking a look at that and a whole lot more today, guys. Stick around. Class is in session. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. I am RV Piper. We come at you every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We appreciate you all being here. Shout out to Lunar Beaches Crypto, Blackie Chan, Trade Intuitions, sliding in here early. And, of course, the mod queen, Alexandra G, in the house. Love it when everybody is here joining us. Guys, if you get anything out of today's show, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're new here, and get notified every time we go live. But you won't just be seeing this ugly mug. You're going to be seeing all kinds of people on the show. We have guests all the time, but the static regulars, the co-host, our TradeFly and OC Guy, I have one of them. It's OC Guy. He's here today. TradeFly is in the process of flying back to home from his vacation. OC home from his vacation. And so here we all are, two of us hanging out, waiting for the three. You guys don't know this, but I actually already have a new trio scene set up that you guys have to wait and see. There's a new scene. I built it last week, and I have not been able to use it since I built it because we haven't had all three of us here. But OC, welcome back, man. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I'm doing fantastic, way better, because when I got back, I just was so damn sick. Nonetheless, feeling much better, getting to rock and roll, and yeah, 100% in and ready to fight those that what is the title of the video, by the way?
I like it. Yes. So what did you do? Anything interesting you did on your vacation, bro?
Well, I traveled for, what was it? I don't remember quite, at the end of the week. I got there, had one live class. We went to a room on, what was it, Saturday night. And then Sunday, we just went out, taking some good coffee. It was at Chiapas. So very good coffee, amazing food. I mean, just got to know how much food I ate at that place.
There's only one coffee, OC. It's Legendary Aviation Coffee. I'm just going to put that out there.
You're right. In fact, it is hard to beat. When I was there, I was like, hey, how many peeps? How many, points of confidence does this mug have, right?
That's right. So let's get into, because we got some news to go over today. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that. I'm going to run in through some macroeconomic info, and then we're going to get into charts, OC, because people have been missing Mexican spaghetti. They are craving some Mexican spaghetti, bro. So let's get into it. All right. Guys, today's news brought to you by Decrypted.tax. As always, the 15th is very quickly coming up. And if you haven't done your taxes yet, you might want to call Ernest. He can help you out. At least get yourself a free counseling. He'll sit down, look through your stuff, give you kind of an idea. And then if you decide to use the services, you get 25% off. So go ahead and check that out, guys. Jumping over into here. Crypto Billy, that is what I'm talking about, bro. We appreciate you, man. Just did a 1 month membership there for Cum Laude. He said, look, twin, I'm in for a month already. Much love, Giver's Gain. I appreciate it, dude. He's using his little, his 1 month member chat there. So that is fantastic. Guys, fear and greed. 70%. That is what it is at today. We are at a fear and greed index of 70. Greed has set in. We were at 79 the other day, and I said, look, we're going to be dropping. Don't worry, because prices dropped, and this is a lagging indicator. It takes about 24 hours to drop in, and now we're there. It's at 70. We're in greed still. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at the halving Guys, 15 days, 23 hours, 29 minutes, and 23 seconds and counting. That is how long we have for this predicted date. April 20th, that is when the halving should occur. We have about 2,319 blocks left to go on the blockchain. When it gets to 210,000, just so you know, that's when the halving happens. And typically, price will go parabolic. We're going to talk about, is that the case this time now? Looking here at the crypto bubbles, you can see Core taking a little dump down on the daily, down 17.9%. However, if we take a look at the weekly, still up 200% despite that pullback today. ENA, guys, we talked about this yesterday. It was the one that was up 50%, and it was a stable coin. I said, guys, just looks like a good pump. It's 50%, right? It's a stable coin, and it's still not at $1. It is now $1.09. It is 10% almost over, or 9%, I guess, over the stable price of $1. So still don't trust it. I think that this is the next Terra, the next Luna stable dollar there, the UST. So Fetch up 7% today. Let's see here. Chile's up 8.8. We can just jump down here. We'll just jump down and take a look. Bitcoin up for the daily, up 2.3%. Ethereum up 1.7%. We have BNB up 6.4%. It has retaken its number 4 position from Solana there, guys. So there you go. What else do we have here? Solana, how much are you up today? You're up 0.3%. That's not horrible. XRP up 3.7%. Dogecoin up 3.1%. And Cardano up 1.2%. Avalanche up 2.1%. What has gone down? ICP is still down for the daily. Down 1.8%, but starting to get a little bit of a bounce here on the hourly. Yeah, I think everything else. Ethereum Classic up 6.7%. That's odd. Mantle up 8.9%. What about Bitcoin Cash? Where are you at, Bitcoin Cash? Let's go take a look at that. Because they had their halving yesterday, if you guys don't know. Did I pass it here? I guess I did. Let's go just look for it. Let's go see what it's up today. Because I know somebody was asking about this yesterday. It is up, let's see. What number is it? Number 13? So I must have passed it. Okay, let's go down there. There we go. Bitcoin Cash up 10.5%. Sorry about that, folks. I was scanning and walked right past it. This happens all the time in my house. It's not there. I just looked, and then my wife goes to the fridge and grabs it out right in front of me. So 10.5% there on Bitcoin Cash, though. Liquidations, guys. Let's take a look here and see what we got. In the past 24 hours, 71,809 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $169.6 million. The largest single liquidation happened on OKX. It was Ethereum. It was $5.9 million bucks. That is what we have there. Looking at the economic calendar, we'll wrap this out and go back and do a little bit of opening TA on Bitcoin. Balance of trade, that's the word. Balance of trade came in today at 68, or down 68.9 billion. It was previously at 67.6 billion. Consensus and forecast was that it would be pretty much where it was at. It was a little bit more than that. So the trade deficit in the U.S. widened by $68.9 billion, the highest it's been in 10 months, from an upwardly revised $67.6 billion gap in January. And what is that based on? Well, that's based on the deficit and the imports and exports. So exports rose 2.3 to a record high of 263 billion. So exports are good, led by civilian aircraft, crude oil, soybeans, non-monetary gold, travel, transport, right? But we had a little bit of a shrinking on the other side. So if we go back here and take a look, you can see exports, 263 billion there, was projected to be 258. So that came in better than expected. But imports was supposed to be about 326 billion. We actually brought in more goods than we normally would, even what was projected. So, and then lastly, guys, this is the big one today. Initial jobless claims. This is important to know. Initial jobless claims, 212,000 was the previous. The consensus was that it would be about 214,000 people filing for unemployment. Forecasted 214,000 filing for unemployment. We came in hotter than expected by 7,000. It was 221,000 claims for unemployment in the past week. That is good for the markets, bad for the labor force, but that's also good for the economy because it means that we move away from that chance of any more rate hikes. So I do want to pull one thing here just to show you, because there's a nice breakdown here from the Kabisi letter. And he says here, U.S. job openings increased in February to 8.76 million, showing continued labor market resilience. Over the last couple of months, the number of vacancies has stabilized just below 9 million. So there's just under 9 million vacancies in America. Moreover, the ratio of openings to unemployment workers has declined to 1.36. It means there are more jobs available than unemployed people. Now, the quality of those jobs, that remains to be answered. No one really knows. We all have an expectation that it's, or suspect, I should say, that it is not very good. Those jobs that they're offering, the quality of the jobs that they're offering for those numbers that need jobs, a lot of it lower income or not, it's part-time, so you don't get any benefits with it. So, but it is still too early for rate cuts, according to this KBC letter. So you can see a little chart there. Let's jump back in. That is the news today. Let's jump in into the duo cam and talk about this. OC, thoughts on this? I don't know how your labor force is looking down there in Mexico, so maybe you can give us a little insight on that first of all. But what do you think about this message from KBC letter looking at all this data? And he says that there are more job openings in America than there are unemployed people. Yet we have people not being able to get jobs, not being able to find jobs, being laid off, like all over the world. It's all over the country, I should say. This is happening. It makes me think that, yeah, there's a lot of jobs, but it's a lot of crappy jobs that nobody wants to work 6 part-time jobs and not get any full-time benefits. What are your thoughts on that, and how is that comparing in Mexico?
Absolutely. So let me go over very quick something that is very interesting. That this is a part of a cycle of an in-growth of a developed country, which is when you get started basically on the States. I think it was on the 60s when you start having that, starting to get better paid jobs for a higher industry jobs, right? And then you start rising your level, and then you get to a point where then you need immigrants to start filling the holes on those crappy jobs. And that is not because they are bad jobs, but because they don't meet the standards of the people that it's living on the country. That's why you need that immigrant force to come fill that hole, right? And that is not actually that bad. Immigration, it is an issue, right? We need to acknowledge that, but to a certain point. And we also are kind of like kind of like the same here, but a little bit more, couple of like maybe 10, 20 years behind the States. And I totally agree with right now with the kind of inflation is matching up with the previous cycle of economy and the job quality. Therefore, is not as usual, but much, much worse, or it's getting worse at the amount of work that you need to do, where or your expenses that you need to do on that country, in this case, the States, and what you're earning on those jobs. So this is worrying. This is to be worried about. And also, I mean, again, immigration, it is not the answer. Nonetheless, it's something that is being to be key part of this filling the hole. So comparing to Mexico, we're having the same thing. I mean, right here on Yucatan, the Yucatan Peninsula, we've seen, like, for example, an over saturation of engineering, architecture, and many other careers like this or majors like that. And right now, there are many jobs, but nothing fits the profile, or these jobs are very, very, very low paid for what you need to spend here. So it is just kind of like a vicious cycle that we need to break. There's a way. There's a way. We've done it before. I mean, but we need to take things, or politicians need to take things seriously as we go along. But yeah, that's my answer. I think you're muted.
Blackie Chan said, lots of jobs available that you can't even get because you're over or underqualified in America. So missed out on a blue collar opportunity because he didn't have an associate's degree. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, but why do you need an associate's degree for a blue collar job? It doesn't make any sense at all. I agree. Some good paying jobs in factories are available where I live, but no one wants to do the work. That's another problem too, DB Cooper. There are a lot of trade jobs out there, like in construction. That's one of the biggest hirings that went on with pay increase. I showed that earlier in the week on one of the economic data points that came out, and it said construction was a big one with a pay raise. I think it was like 22% increase in pay. Nobody wants to do hands-on labor, but guys, hands-on labor is required. Nothing gets built without somebody doing labor somewhere. So let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. It's got a little bit of a pump going right now. So OC, let's go over and check out the charts. Let's do that. Looking here at Bitcoin, guys, getting a little pump right now. You can see, and let me get rid of the little white dot there, a little polka dot. There we go. You can see here that we're getting this pump right now coming up. We're touching the point of control. That's the first thing. That's that dash red line back there. That point of control coming back here from this major volume node on the fixed range volume profile. We are also getting a move up right now above the dynamic reactor. That's this big green line here, a massively powerful moving average from the proprietary chart prime indicators. And then on top of that, we're also breaking above the top trade band of the predictive ranges. Let me bring this into focus here. You'll see there's our top band. There's our bottom band. There's our delta median right there. We did come down. I don't know why you are not to the value area low. There we go. We did come down to the value area low and test that, hit that yellow block that we were talking about on Wednesday or Tuesday, I should say. And now we have bounced up to the point of control. If we can hold this and get above it, so that we can retest the top of this point of control and this dynamic reactor, or just get up there and keep going, then I will be saying that we're probably heading up to this trend line for the first target that's coming in right around 70,500. And then we got an upper resistance band here at about 71,600. If we cannot, very likely could be coming back down to that value area low, which is sitting at about 64,626. Take a look at the oscillators here. It does look like we have a little bit of a movement curvature up towards the zero line here, but it is very parallel. It's very horizontal, this diagonal line is. So not getting much of a upward movement. I would like to see this go a little more over that 45-degree angle, but if we hit a zero line here and bounce off of that, that would be in line with what we're seeing here. Lastly, we do have the RSI prime giving us a beautiful green candle for continuation. So OC, let's kick it over to you. Show us what you're seeing on the charts, bro.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the charts right here at Bitcoin once again, just to take a look at what I was looking at a couple of days ago. We were looking at this previous range. We were having some very big conflicts at this point, and we're going to retest the dynamic reactor. Just like you mentioned right here, everything is neutral. So I do expect maybe a rejection out of this area. Nonetheless, also you can see a big box in here being drawn. Let me see if I can just get rid of that spaghetti for a little bit. Here we go. And for me, this is the oscillating box that I am expecting to see. Let me see if I have drawn it a little bit more clearly. Should be some. There we go. This is it. So this is the area that I'm expecting to be oscillating within. So basically doing this. And maybe, and just maybe, if the halving event doesn't make that pump that it should, and there we go. That's it, guys. Click that spaghetti button, please.
We missed the Mexican spaghetti. I told you.
I know. Thank you, guys. So there is a real chance for us to go visit the liquidity that TradeFly has been talking about all the way at 50K. So just so you guys can see that I'm still considering that area. Nonetheless, my main prediction, my main area of support is going to be this oscillating area where we are right now at this moment. So this box in here with a bearish scenario like this going to visit the 50K. Other than that, let me just take out an Dogecoin, because one of our members yesterday was having a little bit of issue on Dogecoin. He was very hesitant. He went back into a very bad trade, and he was asking for some financial advice, something that we cannot provide. Nonetheless, I was telling him, we are at support. Some reaction is expected. Be careful, because we do have still a chance to wick down a little bit down here. So make sure that you are prepared for that if you're going to be holding. Hopefully, brother, you made it out alive on Dogecoin. Just also make sure that you learn that lesson, that don't go all the way in, don't go cross, and be very careful. Use always your stop loss and commit to that stop loss. That will get you out most of the trouble. And much love for you, brother. Hopefully you're here watching. And other than that, 20 back to you, Piper.
Awesome. let's jump in here. Let's take a look at CleanSpark. I got CleanSpark up here. We had a nice test here yesterday afternoon. Touched the 0.66 at 16.14. And right now, CleanSpark, for you, Eric Wallen, for my mining peeps out there, we are right now testing the dynamic reactor again. This is looking pretty decent, especially on top of the move of tech right now. Amazon, as we speak, just set a new all-time high of $184.89, $184.89 per share. So getting a pullback from that level, but yeah, Amazon setting a new 52-week high. So that's looking pretty good on the tech side for stocks. Let's see what NVIDIA is doing here. NVIDIA still looking a little peakish, holding on to that phase 7 golden pocket there, that 886. As long as we can hold this, you can see there was a lot of resistance here. We had a resistance back here on it. We had a lot of play on here with another bounce. Right now, this is holding on as our support, but we do have this powerful dynamic reactor very quickly coming up into play on that. Let's go check out the oscillators and see how they're looking. Yeah, I'm starting to get a widening here. We're breaking out of the cloud. I would like to see this come up and break that 0 line before I get bullish on NVIDIA again. But yeah, everything is looking pretty healthy here on the RSI Prime, coming out of that 30 range for the upside off of that 7.618. So let's go and check out CASPA and see what's going on with that. It's up about 3% today. We broke, sadly, that phase 6, and I thought we might be trying to head down to the phase 5 here at 11.2. We have pulled back up into, because here's that 11.2 right there. That said yesterday, I was like, look, it's very likely with us getting a rejection here, we could be heading down to that level. So be prepared for that, especially considering that we had all of this back here. Could be coming down to grab liquidity from this zone over here. Didn't happen. We actually got a little movement back up here. Bitcoin giving a rally to the altcoins, and CASPA now getting up to where I'm going to call the next target to be the lower trade band here, which is going to be coming right in line with that trend line for resistance, and that is going to be coming in right about 13.6 cents. So yesterday, let me come over here. Yesterday on the show, I missed it until the end. ZTS tried to get my attention, but I did not see it. Someone asked, where do I buy CASPA? So I'm going to show you guys a really easy way that you can do this. To find out where you can buy it, and we're going to walk you through how that works. So let me come here, expand out this screen, and then we're going to go to news. There we go. Hey, there's news. And then I'm going to show you. Come over here. You can go to Crypto Bubbles, or you can just come here and you can go to total coin market cap, because a lot of people like to use this. If you come here, put it on dark mode so you don't kill everybody's eyeballs out there. There we go. Dark mode, just for you guys. I got you. Now you come in here and you can go down to the bottom and you'll look here and you'll see like Coinbase, Tether, all this stuff. Just come down to CASPA, which I believe is down in like 28 right now, 31 maybe, somewhere in here. There it is, CASPA. Click CASPA. You can see here exactly what exchanges that it is on by spot, derivatives, DEX. If you're looking to buy it on spot, there's where you can get CASPA. Yes, this is where you can get CASPA. So that you can do that way, or you can use it by the Crypto Bubbles, and you can do it from here also, and it will show you. Let me just find CASPA here. There we go. There's CASPA. Bring it up there. This is available on, it says Mexi, Bybit, KuCoin, Gate.io, and I know that you can also get this on BingX. So what I did is I got mine on BingX. I had to use a VPN to get it on BingX. As soon as I did, I moved it off to my cold storage now. I got a Tangem cold storage wallet. I have a Nano cold storage wallet. You can use both of those to move your CASPA to, but you can get it on a couple of exchanges. Most of the coin market cap, CoinGecko, Crypto Bubbles, all that stuff will tell you where you can find CASPA. So, OC, do you have any CASPA?
Yes, I do.
Where did you get your CASPA?
I got it from Mexi.
So there you go. Did you get it off onto a cold storage wallet?
No, I have not yet done that.
You need to do that, guys. Put a one in chat if you guys. Yeah, put a one in chat if you guys are holding CASPA. Let me know if you guys have it. Says you can also get it on BitTrue. Lunar Beach has said, and now the smell of fresh concrete gives me PTSD. Whoa, I guess I missed something there. Crypto Billy, do not ask what Army Piper can do for you. Ask what you could do for Army Piper. Let's go, Givers Gain. Shout out to you, Crypto Billy. I love you, man. You are awesome. OC, what you got on your charts there? Let's go take a look at your charts and show us what you've been watching. You've been out of the picture for a minute here. You've been over there on vacation, living the big life. Down there in beautiful Paradise, Mexico. What have you been watching since you got home on the charts?
Well, I've been watching gold, and I believe that you have something about gold happening, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I do. Let's go show that article. Let's show that article first, and then we'll get into your gold chart, guys. Gold, if you don't know, gold rockets to a record high just above $2,300 after the ADP report comes out. Comes in hot. ADP, that's the stuff that we were just talking about with the import, export, and all that good stuff. Okay, so precious metals eclipsed the milestone price tag on Thursday, fueled by lots of buying after a report showed that the U.S. economy remains resilient. So gold presses the new record, 2305. U.S. economy grows and inflation stalls. So it's added 15% to its total market value per ounce since February 15th. So that is what I wanted to show there. Now, OC, we talked about this. Gold setting the new all-time high. Why do you see it on the charts? Is this poised to go higher? Is this a sign also? Let's talk about that too. I definitely want to have that conversation, because when gold goes higher, it typically means something on the economy side and the sentiment side.
Oh, yes. First of all, I need to first say that maybe Costco was right about something. So but I also believe that this is retail driven. So just be careful, guys, because we're on an all-time high. Gold is being known to hold its value over time, and we've seen that. In fact, we're doing new all-time highs, and that is good, right? But also, we always need to be vigilant, because we never know when we're going to be having that little dump. And I will be wearing my tinfoil hat while saying that. I don't have it in hand, but I'll be putting imaginary here. So
hold on, tinfoil hat. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to Crypto Billy, just gifted 10 memberships here in the chat. Crypto AI, Pablo Chuco, we got Black Ice 710. Let me see who else we got here. Dustin Singer, B Team Crypto, Ada Ace, ICP. IC Profits, there we go. And then L Jones, Post, and Crypto Mar getting those gifted memberships. Shout out to all of the new members, and shout out to you, Crypto Billy. You are the man. Adding to the alumni. I love it.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
OC, you can carry on, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. Crypto Billy, you're not God. You are the dragon. Oh, it's green. Sorry, it doesn't show. Oh, it is a dragon. So all right, so looking at the trend line we have going on in here, I want to point this trend line out because it's very symmetrical trend lines going back and forth. I will be drawing my own at this point. Nonetheless, we can see we have a little bit of retracement. Yesterday, I was looking with our community that we could be looking at a possible entry at a retrace, and we were measuring this kind of retraces, right? So far, we have three major trend lines. I'm going to be getting this one a little bit weaker on color because it already has gone for a little bit. And yes, despite it is a very nice trend line, I believe that it's going through a little bit, and we could be doing much better. And for that, I'm going to be grabbing these lows in here and throwing them all the way down here for an extended trend line. This is going to be my possible re-entry trend line along with a breakout trend line. That breakout trend line is going to be very steep right here, catching these lines or catching these bottoms in here, right here, and basically leading me to understand when I could be breaking the actual right now trend and going for the further retracement. We have a ton of bearish divergences, and just looking through the past bearish divergences on a gold bullish market, because we are very bullish with a low consolidation above the zero line, very above the zero line. That sometimes means that we're not going to be having that very steep retracement, but something like a bull flag formation or an oscillating zone. Remember, sideways market also could be considered as retracement, and with a slight retracement to very close to our dynamic reactor or to our trend line. So those are the trend lines that I'm looking forward to. We have a loud order blocking here, so maybe getting ready to catch the price, bring back up, going back to have some support at these areas, and then keep moving forward. I believe that we're gonna keep pushing forward because of retail and because right now you're able to buy gold just in the store, like just eggs and bacon. So that's what I got, Piper. What are you seeing?
Yeah, that's true. You were able to buy gold at Costco not long ago, so that's very true. Just like, let me get eggs, bacon, and let me get a little bit of that gold over there. Thanks, appreciate it.
Can I
Shout
chunk
out
of
to
gold,
T
please?
Shroom. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to T Shroom. I see him in the chat. He said, "OC is back." Yes, he is. He's back, and I'm glad to see it. Now I just need to get TradeFly back too, so we can have the dynamic trio back here again. Guys. Alex O Crypto is in the chat right now. And Alex O, I don't know if you saw this or not. I haven't watched any your show this morning, your morning stream. I apologize. I'll get to it. But this is pretty hot news for Canada, guys. He's those that don't know, Alex O he's Canadian. And now it looks like Coinbase has secured restricted dealer's license for Canada, pushing expansion abroad during that SEC crackdown. So as SEC in the United States cracking down on Coinbase, they are getting something that is damn near impossible to get. It is a Canadian registration license to be an exchange. So the company told CNBC, allowing it to make deeper inroads abroad as it faces a regulatory crackdown in its U.S. home market. Firm said it has been registered in Ontario as a restricted dealer under the Canadian Securities Administration, the CSA, an umbrella organization that provides security regulation for them. The crypto exchange said that the authorization means the company now meets the Canadian regulator's strict requirements for crypto asset dealings and can operate legally in Canada. So shout out to Coinbase getting some market opened up there and for crypto up in Canada. And Alex O, now you have access to Coinbase. So congratulations, man. That is what I got there. That was that one, but I want to bring up something. Then we're going to rip through some TA. So guys, let us know in the chat what you would like to see TA on. OC and I will start rapid fire in this, but I want to talk about something before we get over there. This is going to be today's thumbnail. We talked about this. We talked about that, hey, look, this was at the intro. We said, look, there are people saying, and it's Coinbase analysts saying this, that Bitcoin's all-time high could mean that the halving, the parabolic run, is already priced in, and we will not see it this cycle. So let's jump in and talk about this because OC's got some opinions about this thing, and he wants to fight me on it. So quick take, Bitcoin halving may already be priced into the market, according to the Coinbase analyst. This is a long-running debate that crops up every single cycle that there's a halving. Matter of fact, Piano Matty B just had this on his show this morning. Also, I saw his come in right as I was posting mine, and I was like, well, I'm not the only one that saw this article today and went, this is interesting. So shout out to Piano Matty B. We're going to be having him on the show as a guest coming soon. So be watching for that. Question of whether the Bitcoin halving is priced in gets thrown around endlessly each time the halving comes around, often with little resolve. Yet there is one data point that makes the case for this being priced in this time around. This is the very first halving cycle, which Bitcoin saw a breach of its all-time high before the halving, which could mean that the effect is already priced in by savvy traders. However, analysts also added that there is still a collective belief that the halving might drive prices up, which could result in behavior that results in a rally like we typically see. So is there anything else in here that was pertinent for us to have this debate? With the next Bitcoin halving approaching, the current dynamics of quotes actually indicate that more and more crypto holders believe that the halving is already included in the price. Tuesday's price drop means that investors are taking profit before the event. However, so far, the downward movement looks more like a correction than a trend. That is according to Sergey Jarev. He's a risk manager from uHolder. So There is also some impact of macroeconomic factors, which is why we talk about these things all the time on the show. He said that the halving's main impact could be the attention it brings to Bitcoin, as well as other contextual factors like market sentiment and adoption trends. And again, we are about how long? About 15 days away for that halving event. Let's jump over here. Guys, let us know in the chat what you guys think. Is the Bitcoin parabolic run already cooked in? Has it gotten so well known that we've already that people already priced in the halving parabolic push a price? That's the first question. And then the second question, which I'm going to pose to you, OC, on top of that, is what happens if we don't have a parabolic run? What if it is priced in? What if the demand of crypto from the ETFs has pumped us up so high that now, as it is starting to level off, because it's lessening, the demand from institutional ETFs is lessening. What if that comes in, and as that new parabolic hype from the halving is picking up, it just literally brings us back into the same levels of sentiment demand, and we don't see the FOMO that brings us to a parabolic run? It is a possible scenario. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. From what I understand this morning, you said I'm ready to fight you on this topic, so let's hear it.
First of all, I have a question. Who said yes?
Who said it? You just got to tape their mouth shut? I
Yes.
love it. I love it.
Just
All
kidding,
right,
guys.
so
Just
I'm
kidding.
going to
No,
put
I
out.
mean,
I'm going to put out a targeting packet. We'll do a baseball card. We'll put out a targeting packet. We'll develop pattern of life. We will then figure out where the kill or capture box is on this individual, and then objective tape mouth from OC guy will be in place, and we'll activate it and go. All right. So what you got, OC?
all right, guys. So I believe, Piper, that I mean we need to consider something which I mean this kind of analysts already have come up clean about, which is we don't know exactly how the institutional money is going to be affecting the price, but it is actually affecting it and will be affecting it, right? So what I do see it earlier right here is that we have the same movement, but in a parabolic or in a asteroids manner, if we can call it that way. Like, for example, we always see that pump. Remember, previously we were at this kind of like times and we were hitting 10K already, right? We were fighting that 10K and then breaking the 15Ks after the Black Swan event. Remember, we all remember that. In fact, I believe that by timing, right now we were somewhere around, what was it, 15, 17K by now, and we're pushing. So we see the exact same behavior slightly shift up. And this shift up is not only due to the institutional money that is drying out the miners, but also can give us that amount of first impression, what the step up is going to be. So for me, what I was expecting, maybe a 3x on Bitcoin, I will be shifting in increments of this movement into a, how you call it, exponential factor to the upside. Because we still have everybody that believes in Bitcoin that's going to be buying Bitcoin, right? That's not going to change. Then we have institutional money that is going to be buying Bitcoin. And yes, we could be seeing a further drop. And that's when this institution drop Bitcoin. Nonetheless, that's part of the game, right? Big volatility, big movements. That's what I got. And that's why I wanted to fight you over. But I mean, it's just my opinion. Mike?
And I think it's a very valid opinion, OC. And thank you for that mic call. What I want to point out here is on my chart. Let's jump over here to my chart. The analysts from Coinbase, they are literally talking about this versus this. That's all they're doing because it's already broken the all-time high. But if that's the case, I think they're missing the assessment, including this whole data here versus this whole data here versus what we have here. Again, this whole data here. And they're just doing a simple isolated comparison of this to this instead of the entire cycle that takes place. And if you guys have been tracking or watching it all since I've been doing this show, this chart here, which has now been nicknamed the Wallen chart, we'll just call it the Bitcoin Wall. We're just going to keep going, okay? We have broken the phase 3 here, and it was just literally February 26th. That's when we broke out. The week of February 26th is when we broke out of the phase 3. Just hitting that all-time high is not the end of it. It is about breaking out of the phase 3, and then we get these parabolic runs. Phase 3 breakout, parabolic run. Phase 3 breakout, parabolic run. Yes, there are retracements in here, and I do believe that is what some of the people were saying in that article, that this is merely a correction, and at that, it's actually a very weak correction because the buying pressure is keeping us in the golden pocket still. The selling pressure has not even given us that pullback to the top here of the phase 3 line, which would be the 887 at $56,000. So it's not even a really strong correction. It's really just a continuation grind in a diagonal manner. If you take a look here, it's kind of just a rising channel. That's all it really is. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of info in that article that is, interesting. Always taking information, you then aggregate it versus other data and information to create your assessment. That is the intelligence assessment cycle, the analytical cycle, if you will. But I think that they're really missing some key things there, like the data on top of, yes, we broke that, true statement, and it was before the halving, true statement, but we have the factor of institutional pressure, buying pressure before the halving, and then we also have the supply demand or the supply shock that happens from the halving that is going to give it more. I don't think that they're going to offset each other and just keep us static here. Although, while I do want to see a parabolic run, I would not, going off myself because we stayed at a stable coin for Bitcoin at $67,000 to $70,000 for a couple of months. That's not going to be a horrible thing. So, OC, your thoughts on that, bro?
Well, I do agree with you, like autonomy. At the end of it all, we've seen this kind of opinions of many people. And here's my take. It's a little bit off the grid, but I believe that we're going to be seeing now exchanges and analysts from these exchanges to be or become the new news on the TV. Remember what Fox News was said, hey, what's this asset? And then everybody just went crazy, and then the asset just did the opposite. Well, then I believe that we've been seeing this same evolution, but from the people that are interested from this kind of assets to be moved. So I'm saying this with tinfoil hat because I have no way to prove it until time passes. But it's just a natural way to go when you are able to push this kind of news and create some feeling, some people. And remember, nothing is financial advice. So, and they cannot be held accountable. But because of a news or an analyst opinion, well, then they will be getting some benefits out of it, right? But I mean, that's just my thoughts on this. Just we need to be careful now where we get our information from.
Absolutely. So we have a request for render. So if you want to go ahead and pull up render on your chart, and then I'll give you guys a little tidbit of info here, some insider info. Let me know what you guys think, and you can listen in on this and while you're getting render up there and answer also, OC. But what do you think is the acceptable industry standard of accuracy for predictive analysts? That means analysts that take historical trend data and then do the analytical cycle to make a predictive assessment. What is going to happen, right? Looking the crystal ball factor, right? That's their money maker when they can predict with the crystal ball, right? What do you think the industry standard is for accuracy percentage? What percentage of accuracy do you think they have to have? There you go, OC. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. OC, what do you think? What do you think the acceptable industry standard is for accuracy on predictive assessments?
Are we talking about what tool or what asset to be compared to?
No, what percentage for Intel analyst, for data analyst, for making predictions, the unknown, what is the accepted industry standard of accuracy? What percentage? Like 20%, 80%, 100%?
Got it.
What percentage do you think is the accepted industry standard for analysis? Go for it.
I believe it's 5%.
5% accuracy rate is acceptable?
Oh,
No,
I believe that's the current standard.
No, it's actually higher than that, but it's not perfect. It's 60%, guys. If you are greater than 60% accuracy on predictions based on an analytical cycle, it is considered good. So you can be wrong 40% of the time and still be a good analyst. It just doesn't matter what the impact is. So there you go. That is across the board in the industry. Crypto Billy here said 30%. Mark Dutch said 28%. But yeah, 60% is the accept. A to A said 90. I wish it was 90. If you have a 90% prediction accuracy rate, you should not be working for anyone. But yeah, 60%. So there you go. ZTS Rhythm. Is it 60? Yes, it is. So, all right, OC, what you got up for render, bro? Let's get in there. A lot of people don't realize that, though. Yeah, the industry standard for Intel analysts, they only need to be right 60% of the time to be successful. So there you go.
Oh, I actually thought you were telling me like, or asking me like for something like, all right, from the analysts of the globe, how many of them are accurate on their predictions? That's what I thought.
I was asking like, what is the industry standard of acceptable accuracy? So if you're wrong more than 40% of the time, then you're in trouble. But you can be wrong 40% of the time and still be, mediocre analyst to hold your job. So there you go.
Right. In that case, my answer would have been 51%. But yeah, I totally agree with that. So going to render, let's take a look at what we have in render. Basically, same thing that we have on Link. Also, I have Link lineup. Nonetheless, it's basically the same thing across the board. Many altcoins are doing this exact movement, which is finding some ranging at bottom, right? We still don't know if this is going to be a Wyckoff distribution or a Wyckoff consolidation, but we need to be vigilant. That will be defined by Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin bounces from the dynamic reactor to the downside, well, we have some bad news for this range that we are forming. Or if we break to the upside, well, we have a great news for where we're forming this range. We can see that Wyckoff pattern playing out, coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, high, not higher than the previous range. This gave us 70% chances of ranging. And ranging we have right here. Nonetheless, we can start doing a prediction based on the strength of the support and resistances that we have. This is, guys, an amazing example on how order blocks work, right? Because as you can see right here, we have kind of like two magnets, two solid blocks of something that have a magnetic field, right? So basically just look at this price action act is steel ball, right? So we go get pulled to the highest magnet, then in ding, just like Trump would say, ding, bing, ding, bong, or whatever, right? And then you just go ding, and it hit this one, bounce from it, and then we got the next magnetic body pulling or making a pulling action onto this to the price action, and we go bong, right? So ding, bong, and then we go back ding, and we start bouncing between these two bodies of magnetism till one of those gives up and breaks, because we're taking a little bit of that of that liquidity out of those boxes, right? So as you can see right now, we're having a soft order block at the top and a high order block at the bottom. So far, it seems like the higher order block is going to be giving out, but also we have dynamic reactor and a trend line coming in, which means we could be having a spring here, fake out, or when we are right back here, we need to see where our oscillator is at. If we're bouncing up, most likely we're going to be continuing up, breaking for a spring to the upside. Or if we are still below or breaking back above the zero line, which that will be meaningful, because we'll be indicating that this is a fake out, and then we're going to be visiting the bottom of this channel once again. So far, we are channeling in, and this is a good opportunity for a hedging strategy. Just throwing a little bit more information in here. Just want to bring up here we go, my predictive ranges and my VPVR, just to make sure that I'm still on a retail area, right? So far, I see that this is not so quite retail-ish. Nonetheless, we have somehow big volume. My smart money areas are right down here, and that is it. So looking for big retracements, I'll be going all the way down between 8.65 and 8. So those are going to be my next entry points for a big long, or at least a spot entry. That's what I got on render.
Awesome. Let's jump over here. I want to show you guys something here. I'm looking at Solana. So let's jump over here first of all, and let's talk about this. There we go. This was put out in our newsletter. For those that don't know, we have a newsletter that comes out to our members. It was put into the Academy library here on our Discord. So if you're a new member, you guys can go check this out. And on Monday, we put out this trade setup for Solana. This was Piper's pick for the week. Solana's finding support. We put it all in here. And I said, look, yellow, that yellow right there, this is going to be a prime entry for a long right there. That yellow arrow right there. This was put out on Monday morning, came out with the newsletter. So let's go take a look and see where we're at with Solana now. That is going to be looking like it came right down to what we were calling for the entry right there. And right now we have just gotten, well, not right now, 8 hours ago, we got a nice bounce on the dynamic reactor, and we have now broken this trend line. If we take a look at what we have going on over here, I'm going to put this on the daily for a second so you can see this fixed range volume profile and where we are. You can see we are now above this volume node. We really don't have anything until up here at about 196.20. My target goal on that trade is this green box up here, breaking above the 786 if you're looking to trade it. But as of right now, looking at the trade setup that we put out on Monday, this is looking pretty decent. We had the entry area, got hit. We came up, came back for a retest on that dynamic reactor, and now we're moving to the upside. We do have the upper trade band coming in right here. I would watch that at 192.35. If you got into a trade on this off of that trade call, you might want to take some profit here. But more importantly, is that we do have the 786 at 205. So maybe take partial profit here, take partial profit here, and then leave us Hail Mary for an all-time high above this line where people go to do some liquidity hunting. That's what we have put out on Solana. So if you got into that trade, congrats to you. You guys are why we do this. And that is what I got for Solana. Let me know in the chat if you guys got into that trade. So what you got, OC?
I got Link. So I've been watching Link. I've been pretty excited about Link. Why? Because I've been seeing a couple of the wake-up patterns here playing out consecutively. So at this point, I'm getting ready for maybe an entry on Link, and that will be for a hedging strategy. So I need to be a little bit careful here. So guys, also be careful. Why? Because we have a little bit of interference. Nonetheless, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a quadruple bottom here. Well, I would rather call it a double bottom, going for a retest at the top of the channel. Same thing playing out in here. There's only one caveat here, guys, and we need to be careful about this. And this is why I'm going to be entering for a short position at 2 different stages, which means, remember, my full position goes with 3% of my wallet. That is one full position. And when I see danger, but my strategy tells me to jump in, I'll be dividing effectively that risk in half, which means my first entry will be at 1.5%, and then my second entry will be another point in short 69. He said, all right, love that one. So the next one's going to be at the next 1.5%, effectively executing 3% at 2 different entries, right? So my strategy is going to go going down right here, having that little range, that V-shaped recovery, which we are in the process of doing so, right? And then a 70% chances of playing out that range. The caveat is that this range might be a little bit off, and I could be seeing this as the range and this one as the V-shaped recovery as initially drawn, right? So I will be bringing up here my support and resistances. Oh, where are you? There we go. Support and resistances along with my VPVR. Here we go. So my VPVR might be a little bit too closey here. So let's try to work around this, right? So what am I looking at this point? It's where retail money is at, right? I can see the bulk of retail money right here. And that's exactly what I am considering for this to be the ranging area of Wyckoff. Nonetheless, smart trader is a prepared trader, and I will be prepared in case it takes me off guard, right? So entry points for me at short will be somewhere around 1840, and I'm gonna set my alert here. In fact, I already have it. There we go, 1835, and then my secondary possible entry will be down here at this resistance with the dynamic reactor. Here we go, and my alert it's set at 1884. Those are going to be my two short positions that I'm going to be opening, tightening stop loss, and then as soon as possible, moving my stop to entry. Hopefully, if I get into this trade, we make it with a ton of profits, because once we hit a hedge completed, we are in the gold zone, and losing gets out of the picture as long as you keep trailing it, your positions on the hedging stage. So that's what I got on Link.
Awesome. Appreciate that, bro. Should have put my link hat on for that one. Just laughing here at the chat, guys. So Dave Digital said, is anyone shorting at 69K? And then here comes ZTS Rhythm in right behind saying, shorty 69? And then Dave Digital said, hey, shorty. And then everyone's watching you do your thing when you got distracted there. And Dave Digital said OC was distracted by the 69. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but also in the chat here, Crypto Billy said he got into a token called Cost. If you don't know what Cost is, it is the Costco hot dog meme coin. He got into this token. It's pretty interesting what he says here. He says he made $3,000 off of it in 3 days. He sold it, not financial advice. He calls it the blind squirrel syndrome. Not bragging, just bought DOT at $80, I think he says here. So that's, yeah, he took, what's that? 50? Yeah, $50. Sorry. So yeah, he took those profits and flipped it into something real. That's how you play meme coins, guys. Good job, Crypto Billy. You are killing it, bro. Also, we had someone talk about the Dixie on the daily. So let's go talk about that and take a look at what happened here. Looking at the 4 hour, first of all, on Monday morning, we were talking about that the Dixie was pumping up to here and that we were hitting this trend line. This trend line was on Monday morning show. I said we could get a rejection here, but it looks like we're kind of trending sideways here. It is possible, depending on what data comes out, that it gets up here on top of this and breaks to the upside, but typically it will get rejected on this because it's what it is. It's you can see here, we kind of got this broadening, we got this rising channel, I should say. So we are now breaking below the dynamic reactor on the 4 hour right now. We did get a rejection at that level of that trend line that we talked about on Monday morning. But right now, it does look like we have a hidden bullish divergence on the Oscillator Pro, and it looks like we're about to come out of that bear zone. But you see how this is doing this little wave thing right here and starting to do exactly like this did? This tells me that we're likely heading for more downside. I believe we even talked about that earlier in the week also. And we're sitting below the 30, but it could go up. But the daily was what was brought up. So let's bring up the daily and see what these look like there. And then I got a little little shout out to some people, other people in the space here, and we'll get to that in a second. So this is going to be for Alex O. This is for you, Alex O. I got you. Looking at the daily here on the Dixie, you can see that we are sitting below that upper resistance band. We do have a long running trend line back here going all the way back to December 28th of 2023 that we could be heading down to. That would be the top of that trade band there also. From there, guys, that would be 102.97. So that would be a significant pullback still to come on the Dixie, which would give us room for a rally. But the thing that they pointed out was take a look at Market Cipher B. So here's some Market Cipher B. Yes, I own it for life. I prefer my Chart Prime, but Market Cipher with Chart Prime is pretty freaking deadly. So let's take a look here. We do have a red dot. You see the happen last time we had that red dot there? We came down. Now keep in mind, we did have one here, but the money flow was coming up at that time that we got that red dot, so it didn't really play out to the downside. But do you see how it started to curve here on money flow? At the same time we get that red dot, that was the downside movement here. now, if you take a look, we've got slight curvature here on the money flow. At the same time, we're getting the red dot. Also, in addition, the VWAP is coming down. That VWAP wave there, the momentum wave, and then all of the signal lines all pointing downward, telling us we probably do have more downside coming on the Dixie. With that being the case, it is very likely that we will see a continuation of this Bitcoin pump, which has now broken that point of control. I wanted to bring that out and give you guys a little bit of hopium. The Dixie weakening right now as we are getting these pumps moving on Bitcoin, and that could be what we really need to have a rally this for the rest of this today and tomorrow. I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow, though, and we're coming in close on time here, I'm tracking that, but I'm going to get through this. Tomorrow, we do have non-farm payrolls coming in and unemployment data. Both of those are going to be out 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, my time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what I had time for there for you people. OC, give the people an outro and let's wrap this up.
Guys, thank you so much for being here around. Thank you for all of our teamful had spaghettis and warm welcome. And also remember to hit that like button, because if you do, in the night, you will snore a little less louder and your wife will thank you for it. So go ahead and click that like button. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, I think I actually have a little something here. Look at that. Look, subscribe button on this one. See, no sound effects for it, but I did put it on the duo. So guys, that's we appreciate OC. I appreciate you being on today, man. It's always a pleasure to have you here co-hosting with me. To the alumni out there, thanks for joining us today. If you guys got any value out of this, again, hit that like button. Don't forget to check all the links out below. We got Chart Prime down there, 45% off your first monthly or quarterly, and you can get those awesome indicators on your charts too. Plus, decrypt.tax. Don't forget, tax season is coming to an end, and you got to get that stuff filed. If you don't know what you're doing, get a trusted official who does. That would be Ernest over at decrypted.tax. Guys, we'll catch you right back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you will part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!